Hey there guys, it's Kaioshin Curt here, helping you to expand and enhance your knowledge of Dragon Ball, and in this video we're going to be educating ourselves on who is Lord Enma and what is the purpose of the Enma Kai, which is the check-in station in English. So firstly guys, we smashed 40 likes on the last Dragon Ball expanded video, but I'm hoping we can go one better and we go to 50 likes on this video. So if you could leave a like guys, I'd really appreciate that, that'd be awesome. And based on the feedback I had from the last Dragon Ball expanded video, I got some great responses, positive responses, so I'm going to continue go forth with this series. And so today this is going to be the first part of a 3-part series where I go into next time the guide to heaven in the afterlife and also hell in the afterlife on the 3rd part. So check back from my channel on those videos very soon. But anyways, let's get into this video. So firstly, who is Lord Enma? So Lord Enma is the judge of dead beings, which after they died, they go to the check-in station, the Enma Kai, and essentially the check-in station is the stopgap between the living world and the afterlife. So Lord Enma, King Yemma in the English dub, actually judges all beings based on their deeds in their life. So it's all recorded in this book that he examines, and he decides whether they go to heaven or hell. And essentially, his character isn't just limited to Dragon Ball, and Toriyama actually took the inspiration for his character from Japanese mythology. So the Enma Dio in Japanese mythology is the Lord and Judge of all the dead. So that's where his character comes from, and it goes deeper than Dragon Ball. So that's where the roots of his character come from. And if you look at Lord Enma, you actually begin to wonder what kind of a being is he, and he essentially appears to be a member of the Oni race, which is essentially an ogre or a troll. And he's not dissimilar from Gozu and Mezu in episode 13, which wasn't featured in the manga but was in the anime, when Goku fell off Snake Way and went to hell and was met by the 2 ogres, the red one and the blue one, Gozu and Mez. He also is quite a strong being, but I'm going to present you some evidence which is kind of contradicts this. This is kind of where consistency in the Dragon Ball anime and manga was a bit off here. So Lord Enma was strong enough to subdue Raditz and Cell and Dabra, and this is kind of contradicted by the statement that Kami-sama made when he was saying, well, Kaiosama is actually stronger than Lord Enma. And Lord Enma's like, yes, sir, I heard that. Maybe I should send you for some training in hell. But then, so that would suggest that Kaiosama is actually stronger. But then Kaiosama later on says, once he's completed Goku's training, he says that I myself aren't as strong as these Saiyans, the Nappa and Vegeta. So therefore, it's kind of weird how Lord Enma would be therefore able to actually subdue the likes of Cell and Dabra. But I think essentially that when these dead villains come to him to be judged, they're a lot weaker than they were in their living state, so he's therefore able to get them in his signature lock grappling move and then subdue them, send them to hell. There was also another inconsistency with early Dragon Ball Z and late Dragon Ball Z with the whole check-in station and Lord Enma judging beings. So in early Dragon Ball Z, we saw that beings would come into the check-in station, the Enma Kai, as a body. They'd come in bodily form, and you can see here in this manga scan of the fox/human being standing there with his body ready to be judged. And that was also in the anime, and there was a shot right after that where Kami-sama was effectively holding up all these beings from being judged, and there should be a shot of that on screen now. And but then later in Dragon Ball Z, when the whole extinction of the human race was going on and all these millions of humans were coming to be judged, there was actually not any kind of bodies coming into to be judged. There were beings, but they weren't presented in human form. They were presented as little spirit ghosts or clouds. And I think they essentially did this to kind of slacken off on the animation and the artwork here. It would have been very difficult to draw, all these hundreds and hundreds of different faces of different beings. And I think they just essentially thought, well, we'll just put them in as these little little clouds, these little spirit beings to be judged, rather than draw the individual faces, because it's just, you know, less time involved there, and it doesn't really take away from the series at all. You know, it's a bit of an inconsistency, but it's not a major one, and I don't really think it has any impact, but it's worth noting. Also, Lord Enma doesn't just pass judgment on regular beings, whether they go to heaven or hell. He also passes judgment on heroes, whether they can go up to the upper world or the other world and receive training. So if you're a hero, you go to the check-in station in your body always, and Lord Enma will look through the book and see your deeds, and if you've done meritorious deeds and achievements, you'll be judged and be sent up to the other world to start training. And this is essentially what happens with Goku when he goes after the Cell arc, and also Olibu and Pikkon in their separate times, although their involvement in the show is non-canon because it was a filler arc, the Otherworld Tournament arc, you know, it wasn't in the manga, but it's worth noting as well. Also, Lord Enma has the power to reinstate someone's body in an emergency situation, and we saw in episode 266 of Dragon Ball Z that Lord Enma reinstates Vegeta to go back to the Earth to fight. And the last thing that Lord Enma can do is he can actually reincarnate a being into another living being a few years later or fairly soon after. For example, we saw that upon Goku's request, Lord Enma reincarnated Majin Buu into Oob, into a human. And we saw in the last World Tournament of Dragon Ball Z that he is there and he's going to compete. So essentially, Lord Enma can do that if it's for the good of humanity and the universe, and won't cause any harm. So obviously, Lord Enma has a range of powers that really complement his position as the judge of all the world and all the souls that come in after they've died, and he's seated there in the check-in station, the Enma Kai, which is the stopgap between the living world and the afterlife. So guys, that's all from this video. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed educating yourself on who is Lord Enma, and also what is the purpose of the Enma Kai. And if you enjoyed the video, if you haven't already, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to start expanding and enhancing your knowledge of Dragon Ball. And I'll see you in the next video.